Today we're gonna talk about the last episode of Vault Hunters Academy, and as you can see, I'm not in the game, because this time is going over some external resources that can be useful to you. Because, well, after this point the basics are done, and I've talked about everything that is important at the beginning, and yeah, I could talk about more stuff and just try and go deeper into other topics, and I could keep going for hundreds of hours explaining stuff about this game, but I don't want to, because otherwise it would have been the year 2500 and I would still be talking about Vault Hunters in the Vault Hunters Academy series, and I just don't want to do that, because at that point Vault Hunters wouldn't be even a thing that people would play. Maybe, no, for sure, it's like 500 years from now. So yeah, let's just go over some external helpful tools. And the first one, it's gonna be the Vault Hunters website, that is vaulthunters.gg. And as you enter the website, this is what you're gonna get greeted with. And let's go from here and see what it has to offer. So, first off, skills. It's a place where you can see what each skill does and how much points it costs to unlock, the specializations of each skill, basically just to know what skills are in the game. The same goes for talents and expertises. And then you have the same for researches, where you can see what each research gives, how much it costs, and whatever the same as skills. Now the more interesting part that can kind of be useful. Gear. And why can this be useful? So, once you click on a piece of gear, as you can see, it will tell you the minimal hull for you, or attack damage in this case of the sword, and the max hull, and the prefix modifiers and suffixes. If you click on, let's say, attack damage, it's gonna say that cannot be rolled alongside chaining, which is more information than you normally have. So if you know that you rolled attack damage, you cannot roll chaining. And not only that, as you can see, there is no chaining here, because it takes into consideration your level. So you can just push it up, let's say 50 for now, and not only does chaining start appearing, because now it is in the prefix pool for your level, but what was previously there already has an increase on the minimum hull and the max hull that it can get, so you can just put it to your level so that you can see what you can hold on the gear that you are about to roll, or try and pay attention, because not only that, there is something else that is interesting around here, because as of this bit we are level 47 and our minimum hull in attack damage is 11 and max 21. But if we go one level further to 48, the minimum starts being 13 and the max 24, so you can use it to see what are the item breakpoints of when you get new modifiers, the modifiers improve their hulls, or your implicits also improve their hulls. So that's how you can use this. And the same goes for axes, any piece of armor, and offense, and magnets. Trinkets, it just tells you about all the trinkets in the game. Next you get the armory, which is basically only important if you are playing on an official server, that you can see the servers here, and to join one of the server it tells you here in how to play. That is, you need to be a Patreon and need to be of Diamond, Tier, Iscalium or Emerald, or a Twitch sub of Tier 2 or 3. Besides that, you have the patch notes. That, well, it's patch notes. It's what I do in my other videos about patch notes. This is them in written form. You can just come over here and see what was changed in that new patch. Next, let's talk about the Vault Hunters subreddit, because here you can ask questions if you are ever in doubt. For example, how have you used a mod pack? Someone wants to try it and doesn't know if their machine is gonna run it. So they just ask, share stuff that you might share, maybe bugs that might happen, or that you think that, for example, this one, which is a focus that actually is a wand. But the most important thing for me in Vault Hunter subreddit for a new player, it's in the mega thread, because here it will give you some useful links. Also, you should read this if you want to. It can give you an idea of the game and how to use the subreddit, but this part of useful links, it's the most useful part. Basically, it will give you the official links for the website, Discord server, which we're gonna talk shortly about, because yeah, this is also a very nice and useful tool. And stuff about Reddit, I don't know why it is in Reddit, because if I just click it, it just goes back into the front page that you need to get to access mega thread, so I don't know why it's there. You also have the unofficial Vault Hunters wiki and community website, which are work in progresses or not up to date. A starter guide, which is very useful if you want to read all of it, but at the same time you can also read the quests or the book in the game. But this actually very useful. I've used it a bit when doing the research for my Vault Hunters Academy videos. How to host your server, information about Sky Vaults and servers, some performance optimization mods. If the game is not running good for you, you can install some of these mods that are over here, some client side, some server side. Just try it and see what fits you and what helps you in your game performance. And I think these two are the most important on this list, which the one being least important being the automatability document, which once you click, you're gonna go into a docs file, which will tell you every item that will appear in your Vault altar to create your crystals, and if you can automate it in a vanilla way or in a modded way. And for modded, it will tell you which mod and item from the mod will be useful to create a farm for that item. So if you want to know how can I automate this item so that I can just press a button and the crystal gets done. But this is the most important document that you're gonna find information about Vault Hunters in, and that is the community document. Once you click it, you're gonna get an Excel or Sheets file, and basically it starts with this introduction that you should read. It's short, read it, and then you get a table of content, which will tell you stuff about the vault, loot tables, vault gear, skills, mods, and other docs. Everything here is useful. For example, something that for me was very useful once I needed Vault Horse, and is the Vault Horse page, because once I click in Vault Horse, it's gonna appear this hyperlink that I just click and it takes me to this page of Vault, or I could just in the bottom just scroll my mouse wheel until I get to the Vault Horse and click it. It would have been the same, but anyway, now you get to the Vault Horse, and then the vault, this is the spawn odds, aka the odds of it spawning inside of the vault. And not only that, it's divided into the bracket of levels from 0 to 10, 11 to 39 and 40 plus, which are the brackets where the odds change. Not only that, you can see the themes, and the themes tells you how much worse or better they are compared to any other type of theme. For example, Nether themes, it's gonna have worse Larimar and Benitite compared to any other type of theme, but it's gonna have improved Alexandrites, Painites, or Unicorns. Blood Moon seems to be better in almost every case except later into levels 40 plus, where it starts being worse on these Echo and Unique gems. But overall, what might be the best is the Void teams, because it has increased Black Opal Ore, Echo Ore, and Unique Ores. If you come over and see at level 40 plus, which is when you should be most looking into these three types of gems, for Unique, it's not the best, it's the second after Nether, but it is the best for Echo and Black Opal, because the others have worse Echo gems compared to your average or any other team of the vault besides these three, and either worse or slightly better, but not as much as Void team for Black Opal. And these gems are very important, so you can just go Void themes, and it's where you're gonna find the most of the gems of higher grade. If you simply need Unique Ores, Nether themes, go for it, it is also good. But that was just to give you an example of how useful this is, but you can find a lot of stuff here. From example, loot tables, what you can find inside of each chest, not only that, treasure sand. Honestly, very useful document, and one that you should keep an eye out, because if you ever have a question, this is a place that you can look for the answer. So Reddit too, but if you can find it here, try it first. And lastly, we have the Discord server, where you can find a lot of more information. But once you get into the Discord server, you're gonna be greeted with this welcome page that you should read, and the same as goes for guidelines and info and links. Everything here is useful. But what can you find here first and foremost? Let's go into the patch notes, and this is where you can first find the patch notes. Because while they are on their site, yes, it usually appears here before the site by 1 day or 2, maybe sometimes just a few hours. but this is where you're gonna find the patch notes first and foremost. The gameplay FAQ, well, this is very useful. It's like that beginning tips and tricks doc that you can find in the subreddit, but if, let's say, I want to know more about whatever embers to soul flame ratio table, I'll just click and it will appear over here, all the information they have in a simple way. Research teams, it will show you the commands and how they work. Dungeon guide, there's a nice video over here. So if you need information, this is a place that you can easily find it. So be on the Discord server, it's actually amazing. There will always be people talking about gameplay help in this section, so that's a place where you can ask if you have any doubts about anything. Skyblock, if you want to talk about your Sky Vault. Update discussions where people talk about the patch notes, and basically just be on the Discord. It's a nice place that you can find a lot of information. And honestly, that's all for today, because this is gonna be the last video of Vault Academy, at least for now. If you want anything about any topic a bit more specific, just ask, and I might do a video if there is interest in the topic, even just one or other person asking for it. Or if it's something that I can explain you just in the comments, I'll answer you. So please feel free to ask, or come by my streams, and if you have any question, just ask me and I'll answer. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope it was useful, and good luck with your vault. Bye bye.